All right, so hello everyone. I'm Daniel again, and I'll be talking about building AI agents. All right, and I promise it's going to be an interesting one. All right, and then I'll just be showing us a brief implementation, so something practical after my slides, so that we can see it in action. All right, so the big question, um, what is AI agents? All right, what is an AI agent or what is AI agency, right? Other people call it function calling, people call it tool calling. All right, but what exactly is an AI agent? All right, so um, an AI agent is a software system that can perceive its environment, make decisions, and take actions, all right, to achieve specific goals with some degree of autonomy. All right. Um, and just to add to this, I mean, we all know what AI is, right? Is that branch of engineering and science that enables computers make human-like decisions, both semi-autonomously and autonomously, right? And the idea of AI agents came around just about 2 years ago, a year, 2 years ago, because of the leap we got to the leap we had in artificial intelligence. And up until now, what we used to have um, with computer systems are rule-based implementations, right? And what I mean by this is um, the idea of AI agents is is the ability of your computer or your software to interact with the physical environment. All right. For example, you have your computer interacting with let's say your logistics company or your travel your travel guide. Your computer is interacting with your emails, right? Because mail is actually a physical entity, and what we used to have before AI was rule-based systems where we say, oh, if this is this, let's do this. All right. So for example, I'm in my bank application. So permit me to use bank because I closely align with the fintech space. And so I'm in my banking application, right? And I have a series of requests I want to make as a bank customer, right? And what is present in the application is a rule-based system where I'll say, for example, oh, I want to schedule a meeting with my bank manager, for example, right? For me to do that, I have to, make a call, right, to maybe the front desk to say, oh, I want to schedule a call with my bank manager. Or if you have, let's say, a chatbot within the application, right? I just say, oh, I see a couple of options to say, oh, option A, schedule call with bank customer. Option B, I'm sorry, schedule call with bank manager. Option B, check for my my bank statement, right? My account balance. Option C, cash out a check. Option D, make a complaint, right? So once I click any of these options, I can, write my like document my request, and it's going to be processed, right? So these were the initial implementation, or these were the initial implementation of what we call software agents, because each of those particular functions can be deemed to be software agents. It's an interface between you and your end goal, right? For example, with the example I gave, I want to meet my bank manager. All right. I click on option A, right? And I say, oh, meet bank manager. And what happens then is that um, I, I, I am being given an appointment, right, based on my request, right, based on the date and time available, right? Now that is an agent. It is software agents. But the issues with those kind of systems were that sometimes you cannot exactly cover every use case or every problems that your users would have or your customers would have. All right. Because what we have right there is a lot of if and else, right? A lot of options to be picked from. And when you have a system that has about 20, 25 options, it becomes so clumsy, becomes so overwhelming, right? And both for developers and for the end users. And but I mean, we had to just keep up because that was the technology available to us at that time. Right. When I mean that, I mean IT technology, right? And then generative AI took a leap, right? And we had AI models that had the ability to interact conveniently as if it's a human, right? Now we've always had AI models before generative AI model. We had computer vision models, we had NLP based models, but these NLP based models were not as robust as what we have with generative AI. All right. But the idea behind generative AI is that, oh, it can be able to generate data, right? Whether it's image, audio, visual, and then, when I mean visual, I mean video or text, as if it's a human, right? And we had that, and then we were able to see um, advanced use cases for these models beyond just chatting like we have with ChatGPT. All right. And then we said, oh, it's very possible for us to customize and fine tune these models to be able to perform specific tasks. All right. And that was what gave birth to the idea of AI agents. Right. We've always had software agents, but now we have software AI agents or AI software agents, as we want to put the semantics. And um, and then we started having rapid developments in the field, right? We started having software agents, software development agents as coding tools that could allow you, write your code faster, debug your codes faster, and even deploy your codes as well. We had agents in banking sector, right? Agent that would allow you make transactions, will allow you log your complaints. So what we had now was there was no longer a need for a lot of if and else. All right. What we have now is, oh, let's lay an AI model, right? So instead of trying to restrict the customer to a particular demand, let us have these customers express their frustration, express their requests, right, via maybe a chat console, and the AI interprets what the user needs and extracts the important entities from the user's message and says, oh, based on what this user have said, probably this user needs to meet the bank manager, right? It just abstracted a lot of heavy lifting that used to go beneath banking applications that weren't efficient, right? Or we also have in hospitality industry where you are able to book a room, you're able to, ask for certain tastes, right? Hospitality taste, and based on your request, the AI would understand, oh, which hotels will suit your needs, which rooms will suit your needs. So we just had an explosion of implementations with AI agents, right? And we had AI agents that could help with data and analytics. We had AI agents that could help with coding. We had AI agents that could help with task management. We had AI agents that could even help with data logging, that's database management. And we also have AI agents that could help with, customer experience, right? With calls, with messages, with emails, right? Agents that could help, reduce the time it takes to meet customer needs per se. Um, so I can safely say that the idea of AI agents, right? Or the concept of AI agents really brought about positively, right? Positively has actually helped streamline business use cases efficiently, all right? And like the discussion we are having earlier around the call, where we come to say, oh, right, for an aspiring business owner, right, or a first-time entrepreneur or an early stage entrepreneur, right, who doesn't have the funding, right, to be able to hire a lot of to hire the required professionals, right, or doesn't even have the necessary underlying computing infrastructure to power a lot of processes like getting a data analyst, getting a database administrator, getting maybe a lot of back office operations, operation personnel, right? Because of course the business is still small, right? And we need business to fund itself, right? With these agents, we're having um people being what's the word now? Um Courageous, right, to start a business because, well, maybe I did not need a data analyst now because my data infrastructure is still small, but then I can just connect that data, my database. For example, I'm still working on Excel sheets, right? I can connect my Excel sheet to an AI agent that can speak to my Excel sheet and extract the necessary business KPIs for me, right? And I can do that, right, in just at the tip of my fingers, right? And so AI agents has actually been very, very positive, has been positive, or has given a lot of positivity, right, to business development, right? And I mean, the use case is enormous, right? We've not talked about using schools for learning, right? For educational purposes, for content, for a lot of things, really. So this is just a brief breakdown into what AI agents are. All right. Uh, sorry for that. All right. So I just want to share a little story, right? So let's meet Jenna, all right? So Jenna is a 20-year-old student who finds travel agencies too expensive. So she builds Trip Jenny, um, an AI agent that chats about a budget and interest, suggests the best locations, book hotels and flights, draws up to-dos, and even recommends what to wear, all using real-time data and local tips to make every trip personal, affordable, and stress-free. So let us see how Jenna was able to pull off this project, right? So I see AI agency in four concepts, right? And it, unfortunately, these concepts are not exactly taught enough, all right, because of the numerous abstraction on the idea of AI agents. Right, there's the communication, there's the environment, there's reason, there's memory, and I'll be taking us through each of them bit by bit. All right, so um permit me to start with environments, right? Now, the reason why they are called AI agents is because they are actually interfering with physical activities or physical operations. All right. Some of them not necessarily interact directly, but they do ultimately. All right. And quick examples are an AI agent that helps you pay your bills when it's due. So this AI agent has access to your, let's say, to your funds, right? But of course, it takes permission before it does the necessary implementation or operation. But it's able to help you pay your bills, right? As a business person, right? Or just as an individual, right? Right? Helps you pay your bill every 30 days. So pays your light bill, your water bill, your mortgage, right? And the likes, right? It's a software code, but this AI makes decision by itself. So um, it makes a decision on when exactly to pay these bills, how much to pay, right? So based on your light bill that comes in, right, it makes a decision on, oh, how much am I supposed to pay? Oh, it seems I used so number of wattage this month. Now, based on my calculation, this is the amount of money I'm supposed to pay for Daniel, for example, and it goes ahead to make that purchase or initiate that purchase or reminds me that, okay, Daniel, today is 26, today is 27, today is 28. You need to pay your light bill, and this is the amount of this this is how much you're paying, whether it is 20,000 naira or 50,000 naira, all right, or 100,000 naira. This is your light bill, right? So in that case, the AI agent is acting as a task scheduler or task management for me, right? Task management operator for me, because I then do not need to always try to remember, oh, I need to pay my bills, right? I can channel my focus to other necessary demands, right? Life demands or physical demands, right? These agents take care of that particular task for me. All right. And so that's just an example of having an AI agent interact with your physical environment. To even lend more credence to that example, the agent can go ahead to send you reminder emails to say, oh, hi, Daniel, you need to pay this, and I've checked, you've not paid. Have you paid? Do you need um, do you need more information on how you should pay your light bill or water bill, just to understand my need, right? So that's an interaction with my physical environment. All right. More examples can be seen in, let's say, logistics. All right. And so I am traveling. All right. And so for example, I'm in Nigeria, so I'm traveling to, so I intend to travel to, let's say, South Africa, and then, right, it's my first time traveling. I do not know so much about traveling, right? I do not know the things I need to check, the things I need to be aware of, the things I need to get, right? And then I just chat with the traveler to say, oh, hey, I want to travel to South Africa. I want to travel to Joburg, and what do I need? Right. And this AI agent says, oh, you need this, because it's summer in South Africa, so you need to get this kind of clothes. What else did you need me to check out travel agencies for you to book, your hotels and to book your flights? Because it's now making recommendations for me based on my initial request. And I say, oh, okay, go ahead, get me a list of travel agencies, right? And the AI goes and checks the web and says, oh, these are the list of travel agencies that are available, right? And it gets it across to me. And I said, okay, let's check out, let's say, wakanow.com, and check out. And I go ahead to check out wakanow.com. And I said, okay. So these are the flights available. Or and then I ask AI, right? Oh, can you help me retrieve the available flights to South Africa in the next 2 weeks? And it goes ahead and checks out retrieves the available flights for me. And even I even tell it, oh, get me the cheapest ones, right? And it also tries to make a decision on which trips are the cheapest for me, right? So, see, those decision making is what makes it artificial intelligence. The ability of that AI to be able to for go and check which flights are cheaper and which flights are available the next 2 weeks is what makes it an agent. So in that case, I have within my grasp a travel AI agent, right? And within that console, I can get every important information I need, right, to make a decision. And even goes ahead to say, okay, this is not the right time to travel to South Africa. I would recommend you travel in the next 2 months or 3 months. Maybe there's a protest, there's this, there's that. So the AI agent is actually like my assistant. It's actually an assistant for me, helping me plan my travel itinerary. Now, it's interacting with the environment. Now, reasoning. Reasoning is another important part of building an AI agent, because the AI needs to have the ability to think through your requests and be able to extract the important data from that request. All right. And I mean, I explained earlier that I want to travel to South Africa, right? It's not just to say, oh, okay, Daniel, you want to travel to South Africa. What do you want to do? Right. And I say, oh, okay, I need to know the best places to go to in South Africa. And he retrieves for me or tells me the best places to go in South Africa, right? It's not just about that. It's about it going further to say, oh, do you want me to also check out for airlines transiting between Nigeria and South Africa. Now, that is a step further in thinking. All right. Maybe I do have that question in mind, and maybe I'm about to ask. Maybe that's my next question, or I never thought about that question, right? But the AI is going further to reason through my needs and say, oh, if Daniel is asking for travel information between Nigeria and South Africa because he wants to go on a holiday, surely is going to need to surely is going to need flight itinerary, right, between Nigeria and South Africa and the airlines that transit that route, right? So that is reasoning, right? Trying to be able to make decisions based on my request. So he is able to know when I'm requesting for airlines itinerary. It's able to understand when I'm requesting for the kind the fashion style I should go for, whether it is summer or it is winter, right? Or I was able to know when I'm asking for the kind of travel agencies I need to book, my hotel suite, right? So it's able to reason through those decisions and be able to give me the best of experience. All right. Now, the next is memory. So the idea of reasoning is layered on top of memory, right? We as humans, the reason we're able to consistently stick with reasoning is because we have memory. Because what reasoning does is that I'm thinking through an action based on previous actions. So I'm not just taking an action in a void, right? I'm layering, making an action based on previous decisions that have been taken so that I can be able to get the best of reaction. Right. And so that's why memory is important for an AI agent, so that he is able to check through, oh, this is what has been done. These are the conversations I've held with Daniel. Based on this conversation, this is where I think this is where I feel or I think the conversation should be geared towards. If we have been having conversations around the fashion statements for my holiday, the airlines I should be using and the travel agencies, the next thing should be, oh, when do you want to go? When is the exact date you want to travel? Right. So that should be like the next question after checking for the airlines that transit between Nigeria and South Africa. Right. So it needs that memory bank to say, okay, this is my conversation with Daniel, and then I'm going to make this decision based on this conversation. Now, the last is communication. So the interesting thing, is that through my experience as an A and ML engineer, all right, I've found out that many persons assume, without fault, by the way, that AI agents are just chatbots. So the only way it's an AI agent is because it's a chatbot. But so this is what I think, and I think is the right approach, is that all agents or all chatbots can be agents, or all chatbots are agents, whether it's a mono agent or multi agents. All chatbots are agents, but not all agents are chatbots. All right. And many people struggle with this because we are used to the ChatGPT or Anthropic Claude or DeepSeek chatbots, right? So I just ask my question and it gives me a response. But in a deeper implementation for AI systems, we have agents that actually perform a lot of operations that we are not aware of. For example, so let's say that, Waka now is a travel agency. It's a Nigerian travel agency that serves the African market. And Waka now does as a chatbot, fair, and you have users, intending travelers come to the platform to say, oh, I want to travel to Kenya, in Nairobi, and what flights are available. All right. Now, um, it goes to check. Now, there's an agent that is actually doing that checking. And that is, we can call it, for example, a travel checker, right? So the AI understands my needs, and based on my needs, it says, oh, let me go and check for flights to Nairobi in the next 2 weeks for Daniel, and goes and retrieves that information. Now it comes back as a chatbot. But then I now say something like, I want you to book a 9 a.m. flight for me based on, of course, the based on the results from the flights available to Kenya. I want you to like book something for me now. A booking agent performs that operation. But now we do not say the booking agent. But first of all, the AI that does the understanding, right? The reasoning AI or reasoning agents understands what I need, gets what I want or what I'm asking for, and package it, right? And gives it to the booking agent. Now, this booking agent is not visible to the user. This booking agent is the agent that actually does that booking, right? Ensuring that the user's needs are served. Then the question is, oh, isn't it the same as me just booking it on the web application, right? Or book for 9 a.m. Kenya, right? Nairobi, and it books my flights. Now that is why I had to lay the foundation of agents are not a new concept. We've always had software system agents or system software agents, but these agents are hard coded, right? But now we have agents that are layered with AI to make that transition of task seamless. All right. Because if the AI, if the booking agent goes ahead to book, it needs to first check that, oh, previously, maybe I asked for flight to Kenya in the morning, and it tells me that what's today's day? So today is 19th, and says, okay, on the 22nd of July, there's going to be a flight to Nairobi, Kenya by 9 a.m. So that was us in the morning. So maybe in the evening, by evening, the flight is fully booked, so it's no longer available. All right, now says I'm just continuing my chat. So because I'm continuing my chat, there's memory. So it's continuing the conversation. And I say, oh, okay, book book a flight for me to Kenya on the 21st, right? By 9 a.m. And it goes. Now the booking agent needs to check to see if that flight is still available. Now, if it's not available, normally what you have in your normal platforms are, oh, the flight is no longer available. Or you just see, oh, not available, the error not available. But what we have now is a more user engaging response. Because once the agent checks and sees that that flight to Nairobi no longer exists, it needs to do more than returning a response to say no longer exists. It needs to go further and check for closer flights, maybe flight on the 22nd, or flight on the 20th, or on the 23rd, or even flight on the 21st, maybe a later time, maybe 6 p.m. Take those suggestions and bring it back to me and say, oh, I'm sorry, I can no longer find the flight for 9 a.m., but I have a flight for you by 6 p.m. Do you want that? Now, that is an AI agent at work. The AI agent has gone further to take a decision or to take an action that seems to solve my problem. And because of that response, I can say, okay, I booked the flight for me by 6 p.m. Okay, I'll book for me on the 22nd. All right. So that's an AI agent interacting physically with the environment, communicating. So there are hidden agents, there are more outer external agents, right? Um, so um, that is that is how agents interact with we as humans, right? AI agents in this case. So yeah, so permit me to share my code. So I did something that I feel that I should share with us. Something something basic, but I just want to show us to how easy it is to write our own AI agent. All right. Um, Permit me to share my screen. Uh, let's see. Okay. Should I do okay? All right. So let me do this. All right. So okay. So um, building a very simple AI agent. So based on Jenna's idea, right? I said, let me see how quickly I can, build a travel AI agent. By the way, I built this in less than, okay, let's say less than 30 minutes. Of course, I had help with, because I needed to keep up with time. I had help with in normal chatbots. So I had help with OpenAI and Claude so that I could be able to churn this out in less than 30 minutes. All right. So this also show how we could actually use AI to build AI. All right. And I was able to churn this out in 30 minutes. Now, so like I explained earlier, the four important parts of an AI agent is communication. It's communication, communication, reasoning, memory, and what's the last one? Yeah, environment. All right. So what I did was just a simple tool calling function, right? AI agents can be complex, you have very complex ones, but for the sake of the class, I had to take it to be very, very simple so that in case you want to implement, right, it's going to be very easy for us to build ours from scratch. All right. So uh now there's something called tool calling, right? Tool calling is the ability of an AI to interface with external um, infrastructure or external, it could be a database, it could be external systems per se. So it's a part of an AI agentic network or an AI agent network. All right. And it's the simplest form of building AI agents. All right. Now, so interestingly enough, I'm using an OpenAI model. All right. So I'm using GPT-4 knots. And in OpenAI, there is documentation for how to use tool calling or function calling. All right. So I'm not writing custom code, right? Although yes, there's a little addition from my end to just try and customize what I want to see, but then majority of the codes are reusable. So you find them in the documentation for OpenAI. Right now, like I said, the simplest implementation for AI agency is tool or function calling, right? And now, so I want to build a trip planner AI, right? And I'm saying, oh, for trip planner AI, I want to do certain things, right? I want the AI to be able to suggest travel locations for me. All right. And um, I want the AI to be able to book hotel for me. All right. I want the AI to be able to book a flight for me. I want the AI to be able to create a to-do list, right, based on my destination and user preference. And I want the AI to be able to recommend outfits for me. So these are five different functionalities that I want my AI to do. So meaning that I'm building five different AI agents, right? An agent that suggests travel location, an agent that does hotel booking, an agent that does flight booking, an agent that does to-do lists for me, right? An agent that does outfit recommendation, right? And um, sorry about that. Um, so I've been able to write some preliminary codes just to show, yeah, so this is a way for indicating each of the agents, right? There's a tool that says suggest travel location. So suggest travel location, travel destination based on user preferences and budgets, all right? And then a budget, so I have to also define what a budget is. A budget is user's budget for the trip. and my preferences is whether I like a beach or like adventure or like culture. And what is required is my budget and preferences. So it means that when I'm asking the AI to suggest travel locations, I need to include my budget and I also need to include my preferences, basically. The same thing too with booking a hotel. So this is, I'm really sorry, this is my coding environment, right? This is VS Code. And so let me just explain, go through it, and I'll see whether it's something we can do on the call, right, individually, right? And then booking flight is the same. Book a flight based on destination and user's preference, all right? And then creating to-do lists and recommend outfits, right? And I'm just calling my OpenAI function, all right, which is to generate true plan. And I'm also using Streamlit. So Streamlit is a low-code front-end infrastructure that allows me to deploy my code to a front end by just calling a function. So I don't need to write my front end codes, right? Again, it's just for simple implementation, right? And that's what I have here. So very, very simple AI, AI interface right now. So all right, so let me show us a prompt, right? Again, I didn't talk about prompt engineering, right? And so prompt engineering is the art, right? I call it an art because it's really an art of giving or providing instructions to AI models, right? For them to follow, right? And I cannot sufficiently streamline my model to my particular use case without actually doing what I call prompt engineering. So the idea of prompt engineering is to streamline the model's reasoning and the model's ability to a particular use case. So in this case, I'm telling you that it's a helpful AI travel assistant designed to plan and optimize travel experience. My primary function is to assist users by recommending best travel destinations, booking hotel and flights, creating personalized, just the things are indicated in the tools, the AI tools. You should also consider the user's budget, offer real-time data. Of course, I didn't connect this to real-time data, but it's a step forward, or a step further rather. Then provide personalized suggestions. Its users to be friendly and professional as well. And I also have to tell you that, if a user asks for any information outside of the typical travel needs, for example, non-travel related inquiries, like, I'm asking a question like, so I'm supposed to chatting with a travel agent. And I'm asking it's like, who won the Wimbledon 2020 or 2021? Right? It's not a sports broadcaster. It's not a sport analyst. It's a travel agent. So the AI should not go out of design scope necessarily. So this is my prompt that I had to import. So I wrote the prompt in a separate file, then brought it into this is a very simple script, right, into my script. And all right, so let's try something, right? So I sent an hello. Okay, so hello, can I assist you with your travel plans today? All right. So I want to go to South Africa, or let's say I have a budget $5,000 and I want to go on a holiday. I want to do my holiday on the beach. Let's say I want to do my holiday on the beach. Where can you? All right, so what I want to show us here is that so all right, so I want to show us something would that's just happened now. So permit me to do this and so that I can show us. All right, so this is what I'm talking about now. So you notice something from my screen. The AI is able to pick out important things from my question. It picks out my budget. Sorry about that. It picks out my budget. All right. It picks out my preference. Beach, 5,000. And it calls the agent suggest travel location. So this is the name of the agent, suggest travel location. This is the name. This my preference is beach, and my budget is 5,000. All right. So this is what do we call it now? So it's able to pick out the important information from this whole body of text. I need a budget of 5,000. I have a budget of $5,000 and I want to do my holiday on the beach. Where can I go to? So like this particular agent suggest travel location has picked out the important thing. Now, so for you to actually now do the actual recommendation, I need to adjust it a bit. All right. All right, so I need to adjust it a bit and I need to tell it to give a response. So let me adjust the prompt here. For the let's say for the suggest travel location is travel destination to suggest possible travel destination. So I'm giving this more information, right? Suggest possible travel destinations based on the user's budget and preferences. Focus on Europe, European, and Caribbean destinations. So I'm adding to this to my prompt so that it takes note of it when I'm asking for uh, this. So let's try it again. Um, okay, let's check now. Right. Okay, still calling it. All right, so I need to adjust something. But as I'm adjusting it, does anyone have a question? You have a question and you want me to answer? I'm glad to answer that. All right. Let me see. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Carla. Yeah. So yeah, by the way, I didn't mention that I'm coding in Python. So I'm actually coding in Python. Is the easiest language to learn and most supported language for building your AI or building AI systems. All right. And the idea is that it's very easy. It's close to the English language, really. And it's easy to learn. All right, it's easy to learn. And um again, it's supported by or all right. Thank you, Carla. All right, so coming. So I just want to. All right, so okay. Okay, the content, and let me do a rerun. Okay. 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 Let me try that now. Uh, so please give me like 5 minutes so I get to fix the message content. Um, mm, okay. Let me try another model. Let me see if this will work. Okay. Mm, so I'm coming. Sorry. I want to check whether this an error from OpenAI so I can fix it. There's an error from the model. Um, uh,
Yes, I'm also going to have to drop soon. Uh,
okay.
so
Right. Okay. Can we do something? Okay. All right. Diara, so can I do something, right? Can I fix this and check whether it's an error from OpenAI, and then is there a feedback? Um, so is there a feedback where I can drop the codes or drop the code files so anyone who wants to fine tune it to their taste can do so?